boost, trying to get some traction off that wet cement is not going to be easy, and the start is so important.
There's David Willem in the center of the picture, Dowdy to the left, Albertine to the right, and it looked like Dowdy getting the best jump of those three. It's Shane King on the KTM getting the whole shot. He's in a battle with number 17 Team Suzuki's Robbie Reynard.
And Reynard's teammate Damon Huffman right next to him, so great starts for Suzuki.
King still holding the lead now. And that's Kevin Windham, number 14, moving into third.
Oh, Reynard is smoking around the outside to get a good drive up that hill. Needs it against the horsepower of Shane King. Track's starting to get a lot rougher now. After that 125 moto, this track is about as rough as it gets, you think, but it gets even worse. Trust me, the second moto is grueling.
And David, I could just imagine what that four-stroke is throwing up as far as the sand is concerned.
Well, it's going right in Robbie Reynard's face. Look at the line starting to, whoa, little mistake. That could have been a front end washing out right there by King. Nice save.
Former 500 GP champion. And trouble for Mike LaRocco as well as Ricky Carmichael. They connected bikes, and Ricky Carmichael is in about 38th position now, and Mike LaRocco will be in last.
You can see from LaRocco's body language there, he was not in a real big hurry to get going, just disgusted. Plus, he had a pretty good-sized little spot of dirt on his back. He may have gotten kind of punched in the back by part of the bike or something and got the wind knocked out of him.
Shane King coming around to be the leader of the first lap, but Robbie Reynard cuts to the inside and is our new leader.
And Reynard already wide open on the power as they came by.
Windham and Ward. That's Tortelli, number 21. Tortelli in good position to gain some points here today. Villeman also a very bad start.
I expect Tortelli to be really fast right here. As long as he's close enough to these leaders, I think on this sand track, the rougher it gets, the better for Sebastian.
So here in the early going of our 251st Moto, a couple of surprise leaders, King and Reynard, with Windham in the wings and Larry Ward in way. Kevin Windham moved into second, passing Shane King. And right now, it is Larry Ward, number 10 on the Team Kawasaki, getting by King into third. An impressive run for Larry Ward.
Anytime you've won at a racetrack before, it always feels good coming back. Look at Tortelli starting to put the pressure on King now. So I don't know if King was glad he got that whole shot or not, because look at all these guys just ripping past him right now. I don't think he can be disappointed with the kind of riders that are passing him. It's just the way it goes when you're not quite up to pace.
King with a very sore back. Sticking it out, though, as most of these riders this time of the year are riding with injuries. I think you can hear that four-stroke going up the hill. Yeah,
and I bet King can wish he could look over his shoulder and not see anybody, but he's got Lusk coming and John Dowd. You know those guys are fast here.
Ezra Lusk, of course, having his season decimated with injuries, especially the Supercross season. Didn't get a race in. He's number 14 on the Team Honda. Robbie Reynard continues to lead our first 250 Moto. Let's see what's new in the Chevy Trucks Kawasaki bike setup with Davey Coombs.
Southwick is a complicated race for the riders and the mechanics. Not only do the riders have to change the way they ride to adapt to the sand, but the mechanics have to set up the bike completely differently. Jeremy Albrecht's working on John Dowd's bike. Jeremy, what did you guys do different?
Well, you know, basically we run the paddle on the rear, which digs really deep into deep sand, and then we tried a couple different front tires. Actually, it's not really like as sandy and deep as normal. Usually runs like a spiky front tire. Now we just have a front tire that just has taller knobs, not really spiky. So depending on how the track conditions go, we're going to change that. But suspension-wise, a little softer than normal because it's really rough and really wallowy, and you just kind of, usually you slide the forks down, but with John, he's a little different. He just kind of wants to ride it, what he's used to at home. And most of the time we slide the axle up. We got all kinds of things we do, but he just wants to ride and do it the way he does it, the way he is on a local weekend, I guess. So see how he does. Should be good.
John Dowd, the sand specialist, and that's the setup he's going to use today.
I'm a little surprised with the success that Dowd has had here in the sand. He doesn't change the bike much. Probably just feels a lot more comfortable leaving it alone. And what Jeremy was talking about as far as dropping those fork tubes in the clamps, it makes the front end a little taller, a little bit more like a chopper, because the front end just wants to dive in the sand.
Sebastian Tortelli, number 21, now starting to challenge Larry Ward, number 10 on the Team Kawasaki.
That's a challenge you don't want, because you know Tortelli is going to get stronger and stronger as the race progresses.
There goes Wyndham, and here comes Tortelli to the inside. Nice clean pass for Sebastian, who's making his way up through the ranks after having problems earlier.
He's able to make that pass on Ward down the inside, just sheer strength. The inside's a lot rougher, so the guys tend to go a little bit wider as the race progresses, and Tortelli said, I don't care, I'll hit all the bumps if that's what it takes to make the pass. It's the kind of energy this guy has on the racetrack.
Coming out of the trees in third place, Sebastian Tortelli. Tortelli leading in points last year up to Unadilla when he crashed, and it put him out for the season. So you know he came back into this year with the confidence that he could win the title.
Look at that right there, a John Dowd fan, obviously. The flagger. That's probably how he got that job. Not as great of a ride from Villeman as I would have expected. 7th isn't bad. I don't think he got a great start, but coming here to get some track time and being a European rider as serious as he is about this National Series, thought he'd been up there knocking on the door a little bit more.
Well, he took this season on, too, as a learning experience and has done much better than that, of course. As we see David Villeman in 7th place behind John Dowd. So it's Ward, Lusk, Dowd, Villeman in 4th through 7th.
What just happened back there to Villeman on that inside, getting sideways like that, is the part about that corner I always hated. It's something weird about the soil here at Southwick. It is very sandy, but just underneath that, it's kind of hard packed, and you got a lot of wheel spin right there. Found one of those hard spots.
I've never heard you talk fondly about Southwick.
I never won here, that's why.
David Villeman trying to battle up through the ranks from 7th place. We'll be right back in a moment. Welcome back to Southwick. This is the first moto for the 250s. Rainer won. Sebastian Tortelli. Shane Drew is Tortelli's mechanic.
Shane, it looked like Sebastian got a good start, but now he's got his teammate in front of him. How aggressive can he be with Wyndham up there?
He'll be aggressive enough to get by him. Kevin slowed him down about 4 seconds the last lap. He dropped off about 4 seconds compared to when he's running by himself, so he's got to get by him soon or else he won't catch Robbie, but Sebastian's going to win it.
Is Sebastian looking forward to a sand race like this?
Yeah, he likes this place, so he's looking forward. Last year he had some bad luck and first corner pileups and stuff, so he wanted to come back and win this weekend, so he's going to win.
Good confidence from the Team Honda group, and not so much confidence right now for the new Cannondale. Keith Johnson, something went wrong with the machine after a pretty good performance last week, David.
Yeah, that's too bad. It's a brand new bike, though, and he made it through last week. That was a pretty good test, so I'm sure they're going to have their little problems here and there getting that bike ironed out.
The battle for second place. Wyndham still holds it down, number 14.
It's going to be a fight. Look at Tortelli. He's got to run.
Tortelli takes over second place. What a run for Tortelli. A great charge.
And look at the difference in Tortelli. He's just covered with sand. You can't even hardly recognize him from the front. Kevin's all clean. It's pretty much how it is every week. Kevin gets such good starts. I bet Sebastian wishes he could trade with him.
This is big as far as points are concerned. And let's take another look at the pass.
Well, Sebastian's just got more momentum. He's carrying more speed around this line, which is going to put him to the inside of the next corner. Kevin knows it. Now looks over a little bit going, yeah, you can have it. Gets around the lapper as well. And it's pretty nice there not to roost Kevin as he takes off.
So it's Robbie Raynard. And now Sebastian Tortelli and Kevin Wyndham are top three.
This is the part of the moto where if you're not in great shape, it's going to show. And now Kevin, I'm not sure if it's conditioning or not, but I'm just going to assume that it is. He's starting to lose a little bit of his aggressiveness, and Lusk is catching him too.
There's Dowd, and then David Villeman. I'll tell you, the points race is getting so serious that practices even were getting contact. There were some words that RC and David Villeman put each other down in practice.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. This guy's been playing head games all year.
Our spotters are telling us that David Villeman is having some problems. You see there, the Team Yamaha crew very concerned. And there's a shot of it. David Villeman has a DNF. How important is this to the points race? He can't be a happy Frenchman right now. Villeman, the first foreign rider since Cars Makers in '74 to win back-to-back 250 motocrosses here in America, will not make it free.
All that time he spent back here during the week off to ride the local race, all that time getting ready for nothing right now. No points. That's too bad.
So David Villeman, sideline.
He came from 13th and was in contention there. Maybe he could get inside the top 5 by the end of this moto. All that work, if the bike's going to quit, you want it to quit early in the race. You don't want to use all that energy, but at least he knows how the track's going to be developed for the second moto now.
They've got a big job maybe getting that bike back, and we'll check in with Davey as soon as we can to find out what the problem was there, as I'm sure they're probably sorting it out. Let's go to Davey.
David, what happened to the bike? I think I burned the clutch, and the bike was neutral, you know. Sounds a straight out behind down, and I could not get, I was losing up the clutch, but nothing happened, and was slipping, and at the end it was like all the gear in neutral.
Do you think you can get it fixed for the second moto?
Yeah, I think the bike will be ready for the second moto, and that's bad because I lose a lot of points today.
That was pretty good for him. We just saw him slam his helmet against the berm a moment ago, and now he's kind of regained his composure. And considering he's lost 25 points, that's hard to make up against these guys.
That certainly shows a great maturity in the young man as we take a look at the Chevy Trucks AMA Motocross Series schedule. Welcome back to Southwick, Massachusetts. In our first 250 moto, this was the scene a few moments ago as one of our point contenders, David Villeman from France, had to take the long walk back toward the pit area. His machine just gave up, and here you see him now talking with his father before returning back to the truck. Of course, this spells opportunities for others like Sebastian Tortelli trying to make a move now on Robbie Raynard. He does so. Sebastian Tortelli takes first place. What does mechanics say, David?
He was pretty confident. Shane Drew acted like no problem. Tortelli was going to win this race, and now he has the lead. I don't think that Raynard has enough to come back on him. Tortelli was able to catch him from pretty good ways back. He's just motoring. Look at him go.
Tortelli now trying to push it way out in front. Let's take another look at that pass.
Same thing again. This outside line, the same way he passed Kevin Windham. I'll draw it again in case you're just joining us. That line sets you up on the inside to the next corner. Raynard knew it. He had to look over and give him the room.
And so there's Robbie Raynard in second place. Davey Combs has a new perspective on David Villeman. Let's go down to Davey.
A lot of activity going on here in the first moto. Mike LaRocco and Ricky Carmichael crashed on the first lap. Carmichael's come from almost dead last. Then Villeman just trying to clutch. He's out of the points chase. The way it looks right now, Sebastian Tortelli, the leader, might just be the points leader going into the second moto.
Okay, thanks, Davey. As our leader, Sebastian Tortelli, has not slowed down one iota. He knows he's in a good position right now with Ricky Carmichael trying to fight his way back up through the pack.
Look at Tortelli charge, though. This is later in the race. The guys are getting tired. The track is the worst it's been so far today in terms of being the roughest. And he's already got a pretty good lead over Raynard, and he's still charging.
This has been a hot and cold track for Ricky. Yes, he's won twice in the 125s here in 97 and 99. But in 98, he had one of his worst ever 125 races, where he placed 28th and then came back for a second, a 9th overall. You might recall there was a head gasket problem or electrical problems that really put him in a state of frustration.
He's in a state of frustration again here today because after Mount Morris, he lost a lot of points, lost the points lead, and then going down the first lap, he had so much ground to make up, and he is charging hard as well. He and Tortelli are on the move, the two fastest guys on the track probably right now. Whoa!
Oh! Carmichael takes a hard hit on the chest.
Landed right in the hole. Caught him off guard. He was trying to get around Albertine. Every point matters. This landed a little bit crooked, it looked like to me, Art. If you land in one of those holes and the front wheels turn just slightly, that's all it'll take. Got to turn a little bit to the inside. It just pops out the other way.
Oh, and what a hard hit on those handlebars.
Yeah, right in the chest. That takes a lot of energy to get up.
And so Carmichael now has even further to go before this race ends, as we've got Ezra Lusk, number 11, now putting the challenge to Kevin Windham, number 14. This is for third.
Well, Kevin right here is riding defensive. He's trying to protect. And Ezra's been catching him slightly this whole race.
Ezra, a winner here last year with a 1-1. That was his only victory of the year. The 94 winner, Mike LaRocco, has got more problems. Let's see if we can go to the pits now in Davie.
Check it out. You can see Mike LaRocco's mechanics furiously trying to put a new pipe on LaRocco's 250Cs. It just gets worse. The first turn crash with Carmichael. Then he dinks his pipe. He's in the pit area. Going to try and salvage some points.
What a hard job to change a pipe at this point in the race because everything in there is so hot. I remember Ali Seymour trying to change the pipe on Kevin Windham's bike a couple of years back. I think it's Glenn Helen burning his hands. And let me just add, that's the ugliest pipe I've ever seen, Art.
And he's currently battling for third and fourth.
Look how fast Ezra goes around that corner through those holes.
And here comes Ezra Lusk. Lusk moving into third, takes it away from Windham.
He just wanted that more. The top of that hill, those bumps are so deep, and you're laid over through there. If you get a little crooked in there, you're going down for sure. And he just nailed it.
How scary is it?
It's scary. That's the tough part of the racetrack is that downhill. And the corner at the top, you're already thinking about the downhill and getting in a swap going down there, hitting all those braking bumps. Ezra just attacked it wide open. Actually just kind of easy on the throttle, but a lot of momentum.
And that gutsy move puts him in a good position for the overall in his comeback try. Let's check out this week's Honda profile. 3 years ago, Mike Gosler received a call to become Ezra Lusk's mechanic, and they've been together ever since.
Yeah, I think you have to have a good friendship going, you know, to kind of understand each other and know when something's bothering somebody, and also be able to take some criticism on both your parts, you know, and be able to work together even though things aren't perfect, and you just try to build on it and try to make things better. And yeah, it's very important to have a really good relationship with your rider. I think communication's a big part of it.
For most motorcycle mechanics, their dream is to one day tune for a big factory. But for Mike, it meant giving up a secure full-time job, making the decision a more difficult one.
This is something I've always wanted to do in my life, and if I don't take this one opportunity to do it, who knows, you know, I'm going to be kicking myself in the rear for the rest of my life. So I decided I'd do it for 1 year because I had, like I said, I had a pretty good job, and it had a pretty good pension, and it's pretty stable, and I thought I'll do this job for 1 year, and I think that was in the end of '93, and I'm still doing my job. So yeah, I really enjoy what I do. And
Mike enjoys traveling the world tuning motorcycles, but the job certainly calls for a personal dedication.
it is a ton of work. It's a lot of hours, and you got to be pretty dedicated, you know. You have to make some sacrifices in your personal life, but I guess doing a job that you really enjoy doing beats doing a job that pays well and that you don't like doing anytime, you know. And I feel really good about doing this job and having the opportunity to do it.
250 Moto. There's Ricky Carmichael. Boy, has he had an interesting day. He's chasing the series defending champion Greg Albertine, and RC to the inside. Oh, they come dangerously close on that rugged terrain, and RC moves up another notch. Here is our leader on the final lap, number 21, Sebastian Tortelli.
Things will look a little bit more relaxed for Sebastian right now, but that pass by Carmichael was scary. That's the fastest place on the racetrack, and they were just elbow to elbow.
Carmichael, of course, trying to pick up more points as Tortelli gets the big jump in points in this moto. There's the checkered flag for the first moto victory of the year for Sebastian Tortelli. It also pushes him up to number 1 in points. Before the second moto gets underway, it's Tortelli. Robbie Reynard holds on to second place, and Ezra Lusk, his best finish of the year, in third.